an entrance.
You made it.
With an entrance. I apologize for this short delay. So, there was a traffic problem. I believe, I told to my colleague, I believe in God, and then I believe in after. I believe in Waze, but Waze is not God. So there was a little mistake, and well.
So happy to see you here.
Me too.
The organization told me that I should go on stage by myself and start speaking about high growth and scale-up. So, I was terrified.
So I would like to ask, because we're going to speak about the Spanish ecosystem. Is there anyone here that is not able to speak any Spanish, or could we change into Spanish?
Any English speakers in the house?
Porque si no, lo hacemos en español. Porque como hablamos del is it okay for everybody or not? If yes, could be? No. Okay. So we still go on English. So
Perfect.
thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Maria, just for being here, and we have planned this panel just to try to think about the ecosystem itself. Maria is a very known person in the ecosystem. And we are trying we have planned this like a conversation. We don't want to share any kind of vision. It's just, Maria has been since, I don't know when.
2014 was when I joined the ecosystem as part of a startup. So yeah, it's been a decade already. Wow.
Well,
we're getting old.
2013, so we were all
almost at the same time.
We were all there. So we are trying to think about this and what are our opinion about how it has gone, and challenges that we have as ecosystem here in Spain. So please, Maria, tell me what do you think under your experience? What do you think that has been the evolution of the Spanish startups and scale-ups ecosystem?
So I can only speak for my opinion and for the last decade. So I think that obviously when I first joined the ecosystem, this was what we say a páramo. Basically, there was everything to be done. It was a very young environment, and I would say that everyone was a newbie. The investors were making their first investments. Entrepreneurs didn't know where to go to find support and start their companies. And corporates hadn't heard about open innovation and collaborating with this weird type of companies yet. So everything was to be done. And that meant that it was obviously a space for opportunity and for magic to happen. And I think that definitely in a decade, in 10 years, we have gone a long way. The ecosystem I'm going to talk about Spain as a whole, but obviously you know that we have 3 or 4 very powerful cities in terms of the ecosystem development. But in Spain as a whole, we have gone a long way. Now Spain is one of the foremost and the leading countries in Europe in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship. In many years, we are the country that has where startups have received the most investment, or where the investment has been the biggest. So I think that we have come a long way, but that doesn't mean, obviously, that there is not work to do and things to compensate, correct, and obviously change if we want our ecosystem to prosper and to keep contributing to Spanish society in terms of positive impact, positive give back to the economy. So yes, we have progressed a lot. We have so many unicorns and companies that are successful and being drivers for the next generation of startups. We can see how absolutely every corporate is involved in the game, and they have learned how to collaborate with startups and with other ecosystem agents, which is not easy. We know how hard it is for large corporations and organizations with big bureaucracy to open themselves to this type of animals. But definitely, we have seen how everybody has learned, has adapted, and has grown in the process.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think?
Yes, I come from a corporate. I've been many things more. Thank you. And I remember 10 years ago, some people that is here remember. For us, there was 3 things that was very difficult to get into this well, not this ecosystem, because this whatever.
Yeah, whatever
This
they want.
kind of companies. The first was, there was no reference. There was no place to go. You know what I mean? Today we have this incredible event, but there was nowhere to go just to meet. There was some, but they were very, very small. I remember we started collaborating with South Summit in 2013. So that was the first thing for us, just to know where we are going. The second one was, it was, I don't know if it was a coincidence, but a cause. Then we were in a crisis, in a terrible crisis,
Right.
and there was a fear, something like, if maybe the corporate side are here just to make social responsibility, or even a little more to publicity that we are helping small companies. What for a company like us, what would be the problem? That there is a wave, a very short wave, and then after 3 years we have made many investment in people, and that was the second problem we were facing, and the third one, but it is just by my personal opinion. Even today, we have some people that is shocked sometimes when we say that we're working with startups. A company like us, we work for PwC, was not expected. I remember many times when they say, "What are you doing here?" We have a sentence in Spain, ¿qué hace un chico como tú en un sitio como este? ¿No? That was the moment. And that was the three things that I think we have go over that. Today, I think we have references. This is an incredible international reference. We have all the players, all the relevant corporate playing this game. And the ecosystem itself has been much more sophisticated. Yesterday, I was in one of the side events that are organized around the South Summit, and one of a very, very settled entrepreneur said, talking about South Summit, they said, 5 years ago, if you go across this huge space, we find a lot of students. This was a place that there were a lot of, not the main, but a lot of were students, people that was going here and around, and now you find here, if you are into these ecosystems, you've been stopping many times. I think we have settled ecosystems and sophisticated, but we have a lot of challenges.
Definitely, yeah. You mentioned before that we didn't have any references when we were starting the ecosystem here, and I wanna say that we did have one, which was the US, obviously, Silicon Valley, but I think that something that and it's part of the challenge still, is that we are not Silicon Valley, and somehow we need to adapt the business model, the mentality, the vision, the way we do things, and I'm going to say tropicalized, because obviously our climate is a little bit more tropical than well, not California, but I honestly believe that we cannot do anything the same way that it's done in the US. Obviously, we have so many things to learn from them in terms of allowing the companies to grow, and some of mainly on terms of regulation. But on other aspects, I think that we need to be more reflective about what would work for Spain, the country as it is, and as we would like it to continue being, right? Because I believe that, for example, when we were working at the High Commissioner for Spain Entrepreneurial Nation, we put a lot of focus on making sure that entrepreneurs understood their role in society. As company builders, basically what you are doing is not only creating a business that it's going to be successful for yourself, but a business is a powerful engine for growth, social and economic, and I think that it's very, I would love to promote it, and I think it's very responsible for the entrepreneurs who accept that role and how they play it and play it responsibly. So that is something that I think that in Spain we are seeing more and more, how entrepreneurs realize that they are not just lone wolves that play for themselves and that are only thinking about their own profit and their own sustainability, but are also thinking about how they are contributing to their country, to their society, to basically a system that needs more business people to be successful, to contribute to the whole system, obviously, to keep it moving and for the wheel to keep turning.
I was laughing, smiling when you talk about Silicon Valley. I remember 10 years ago, I could be in 15 towns here in Spain that we're going to create the name of the building and Valley.
Yeah.
If you were here 10 years ago, you will remember the name of the village, whatever, even village, small village.
Or the neighborhood, even in Madrid.
Valley,
No?
even in Madrid.
Yeah.
And I remember the word two words, what was San Francisco and Israel. Mm-hmm. I think now we have think that what we have to learn is things, but we are not going to be there because we are not.
Definitely.
I would like to ask you, because Maria wouldn't say, but she has a very, very relevant, and she played a very relevant role in the startups law here in Spain that was passed 2 years ago. What do you think, under your experience, because you have been in Endeavor, you have been working for Telefonica, so you have a very wide experience. What do you think on the government and investors fields? What do you think that are in what we have to think, or where are the main challenges you can see, Maria?
Okay, so for the government, I would say that so many things, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but for me, the main aspect is understanding that the startup ecosystem is already very prolific as it is. It doesn't need more encouragement. What needs, or the type of companies that needs to be supported, are the bigger ones, are the scale-ups, or even the SMEs that are the innovative SMEs. Why is this important? Because those are the companies that have no reference. We were talking about who do we have that we can look up to and learn from. Startups have already plenty of references. They can come to this type of event and learn from the next generation and even look abroad and see who's doing things well. But scale-ups and innovative larger SMEs, they tend to be more seclusive or reach a point where they feel very alone. They don't know who to reach to and where to look for support. And I think that there is a big job to do in terms of regulation, because sometimes those companies, the ones that have already grown and that have already demonstrated that they have a profitable and sustainable business, they are the ones that suddenly they face a huge wall, because suddenly they are treated like large corporations or other types of organizations that they are not yet. And that, the effect is that blocks, that hinders evolution, their progress. And I think that we should be, the public administration should be way more considerate about how to treat and promote those type of companies, because they are definitely the ones that are creating more jobs, creating more business, and definitely what we were talking before about more economic growth and development.
You have talked about the challenges. I think not in the government field that you have talked about, or even in the companies themselves. I think it's the time. It's not now, but I think in the whole ecosystem is the time, under my opinion, to talk about two things. The first is very obvious, what is scale-ups, but not only for growing. You don't need a market. The market is obvious. If you want to grow, you need people.
Definitely, talent, yeah.
Talent. And when you are growing a lot and very, very fast, you need a very specific people. And I think, I've talked to many universities, and they're very always thinking, we have to promote the entrepreneurship. And I always say, promote the entrepreneurship, but please make plans to teach students how to help a company when it is not a startup. So for me, is the main point. Please try to give professionals, students, that they are not in these fields tools to help on the growth of the companies, because this is quite difficult. It's
Definitely.
my job to work with this. You said that, and the second thing you said, I think it's quite interesting, is innovative small and medium enterprises. Indeed, the name of my area in PwC is high growth potential companies. In English, it's scale-ups and open innovation, but in Spanish, it's high growth potential companies. Why? We've been since 2013, and we realized, we were thinking about what can we do for them, and we realized that the companies that grow very fast always has the same challenges, even the same problems. It is not usually the problem, it is not usually the business. They know. They have been disrupting the business. So you don't have to help them on the business. They will help others on the business. But where all these companies has the main challenges, under my experience, I was CEO during 4 years of a Spanish small and medium enterprise, is the problems that they have in the structure of the company, in the structure and in the partners they choose.
Right.
I think we have to share all this experience, not only for scale-ups, but those small and medium enterprises that, for example, we have many clients that are in consumer industry, in construction, in logistics, and nobody will say that they are startups or scale-ups, but they are growing a lot, and they have the same problem. So both things. People for helping these companies to grow, and please think in the small and medium enterprises that are innovative and growing a lot, because I think it's the next step, and I think they feel sometimes a little bit alone.
Definitely.
So we have 1 minute. I would like to ask you if you have to say two things that you think that maybe two things that should be the main challenges for our ecosystems, Maria, and your experience. You have been in so many places, so many relevant places. What would you say? What would you say you have to focus in two main ideas or trends to share with us?
The first thing that comes to mind is sustainability, and I'm not only referring to the environment, which is obviously top of mind, but also social sustainability and
the ecosystem itself.
The ecosystem itself and the country itself. We need to support the structures that we have if we want to have a future, and I believe that has to be incorporated into absolutely every decision any business person, investor, public administrator, anyone around the ecosystem or the entrepreneurial ecosystem has to take into consideration. And then I would say that I believe that our ecosystem is a clear reflection of what we are as a country. So, for example, investors tend to be a little bit risk averse, in my opinion, compared to other countries, or the public administration tends to be very conservative. And in general, everyone tends to be very, how do you say, like they want to control and to have a...
Control,
exactly, control. No? In Spain, we like to have our own safety field where we are comfortable and I think that if we really want to grow, want to prosper, we need to learn how to collaborate, and that means that we need to open ourselves to opportunities outside our realm of control and realm of opportunity if we want to grow.
We have to think that if we have done something, we are late to do other things.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't know if we have time enough for a question. If you have, or we're out, I think. Anybody? I think it's something to say we have to go.
We are running out of time.
Thank you very much for me. I apologize for this delay, and see you here.